Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Mozingo and this is my Inquiry Project digital presentation for the course COM 616, also known as Communicating Mindfully. Today's date is August 23, 2017. This case study presentation is about being bold in public discourse and organizations by standing for those who cannot. The National Institution of Justice's website states that human trafficking is when people are seized by others and are involuntarily made to perform sexual acts. This human rights issue is happening all over the world. For my case study example of human trafficking, I chose the movie Priceless, written by Dowling, Powell, and the Smallbone brothers. After watching this movie, I have realized how important it is to stand and be a voice for the voiceless, specifically human trafficking victims. While researching for this case study, I discovered two theories that I believe will help with human trafficking, which are public discourse ethics and organizational communication ethics. According to Arnett, Hart, Fritz, and Bell, the authors of the textbook Communication Ethics Literacy, Dialogue and Difference, public discourse ethics is public and private accountability, and organizational communication ethics is community of memory and dwelling. I believe public discourse will help because Arnett, Hart, Fritz, and Bell claim the term covers the importance of advocating for the voiceless and unseen. I believe organizational communication ethics theory will also be helpful because Arnett, Hart, Fritz, and Bell state the term discusses the importance of organizations going into action. The purpose of this case study is to inform those who are interested in being a voice for the voiceless and how organizations, if worked actively and correctly, can be of great value in raising awareness and support in helping those enslaved by human trafficking. I chose human trafficking as a topic because I always enjoyed and felt it was important to support organizations so in turn they could help those they are supporting. I knew human trafficking was a huge issue, but after watching the movie Priceless and seeing what it is like to be a victim, I now have a special place in my heart for those who are or have been under the slavery of sex trafficking. I would now like to show you the movie trailer for Priceless and then give an overview of the film.
We're all on a journey. But it seems somewhere along the way I took a wrong turn. So many regrets, so many mistakes.
But I want to stay with you, Daddy.
And then it happened. And I never even saw it coming.
You look beat. What are you hauling?
Nothing really.
Now, why would you have to go through all that? You're just hauling nothing.
I just for once wanted to do the right thing.
We want to thank you for helping us.
You want to be here.
I want to be a singer, like Taylor Swift. Do you like Taylor Swift?
No. Did I fail them?
That's all. There's no lock, huh?
Did I do what needed to be done?
Hey, the girls, where are you taking?
It's not your problem. Happy trails.
You obviously know something about this. Then help me.
If you're hearing a little voice that's telling you to stay, that there's a larger hand at play here, then you might want to listen to that voice.
These girls don't belong to you.
Those girls don't belong to anyone.
You go down this road, you can't go back to normal life again.
There's some bad dudes who are gonna kill you.
My friendship comes at a cost.
This is not what love looks like.
I want to shut this thing down.
I see you dressed in white.
How could you just leave us?
You have to trust me.
That word is broken for you.
I'm gonna make this right.
Irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, talent is beautiful.
James, no!
So priceless.
Priceless is about a character named James who had been in prison and lost guardianship of his daughter. On top of this, he lost several jobs, so he decided to deliver an enclosed pickup truck for money. While delivering the truck, he found two young women named Antonia and Maria in the back. The two had been brought over from Mexico to work, but did not realize the work was for human trafficking. James realized what they were being put to work for after it was too late. James decides to take action by pretending to be a paying customer so he could speak to Antonia and convince her to run away with him. However, Antonia refused to go without her sister Maria. While being held captive, the other women tried to convince Antonia and Maria that it would be all right, but they knew otherwise and were forced to lose their innocence. James was able to save Antonia and Maria in the end. James and Antonia fell in love and both opened a house for rescued women who had been sold into human trafficking. According to the Polaris website, the National Human Trafficking Hotline, run by Polaris, states there have been 22,191 reports of human trafficking in the U.S. since 2007. Polaris also claims the International Labor Organization believes there are currently 4.5 billion people enslaved by sex trafficking. The International Justice Mission suggests the majority of human trafficking victims are poverty-stricken women and children because of financial instability. With these alarming statistics, I feel the public discourse theory and organizational communication theory will be most beneficial by promoting boldness and action. I believe these theories will inform and push people to take action to help human trafficking victims and the organizations created to help them. Pollock, the author of the peer-reviewed article Illuminating Human Rights, How Demographics Drive Media Coverage, claims that there has been little research done on the media's coverage on human rights issues, that the small amount of visual representation they do share do not persuade people to help. However, Priceless is one example of media created to share awareness of human trafficking issues. Zimmer and Gornelos, the authors of the peer-reviewed article The Lost Victims of Human Trafficking, state most people believe women and children are only victims of human trafficking, but men can actually be victims as well. Even though most people know what human trafficking is, it does not mean people will take action. However, James is an example of a person taking action for those who cannot. There are many organizations created to help human trafficking victims, of which are religious affiliated, according to Koshman, the author of the peer-reviewed journal Human Rights Collaboration, The Communicative Practice of Religious Identity. Koshman claims this is because people of faith feel it is important to help with causes such as human trafficking. Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell claim mission statements protect the good when an organization knows their purpose and takes action. The movie Priceless's mission is to show both males and females they are priceless and to show the world sex trafficking is not acceptable, according to Dowling and Smallbone. Some examples in North Carolina alone are Restore One, Winston-Salem Streetlight, and Transforming Hope Ministries. Brightman, as cited by Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell, suggests our beliefs should be communicated and put into action, such as helping human trafficking. Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell claim organizations must remember their purpose and history in order to take action and see eventual change. Human trafficking organizations are successful because they understand the depth of the issue, why they are promoting help for victims, and take action by raising money, building shelters, through outreach and other forms of help for victims. Priceless is an example of the human rights issue because James knew he was selling Antonia and Maria into human trafficking as soon as he found them in the truck and delivered them to the characters Garrow and CJ. Arendt, as cited by Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell, claims people tend to put themselves first before others, especially when they do not know those people. Kant, as cited by Arendt, who were both cited by Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell, suggests people should have an enlarged mentality, which means thinking of others before themselves, even if they do not know them. In order for organizations to not become egotistical, Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell claim they should be attentive by thinking of others as the priority. In order for these organizations to continue to strive and help others, it is important for the public to volunteer and/or make donations. For example, James took action by building a place of refuge for human trafficking victims. Arnett, Hardin, Fritz, and Bell claim the public persuades the performance of those who work in organizations. Without the public being a part of organizations, the organizations would not be able to help those in need. Organizations are important because they are a voice for the voiceless. By being bold and stepping out to help, the public is equally as important as the organizations when it comes to human trafficking. Researching human trafficking is important because it could potentially help decrease the number of victims. The public discourse theory will persuade those who may not realize their significance in helping human trafficking organizations to take a stand for those who cannot. The organizational communication theory will persuade human trafficking organizations to stay true to their purpose and strive daily to take action for those who cannot. With more public involvement, human trafficking organizations will be able to continue their work in the fight against ending the movement. Human trafficking victims are in desperate need for the world to take a stand and end this problem once and for all. Here are the references I used in this presentation.